When a woman begins to share her problems with you, it can feel like a powerful moment. You might think it means she trusts you, that she feels close to you, maybe even that she sees you as someone special. And sometimes that's true. But here's the hard truth that most men overlook. Just because she opens up to you does not always mean she loves you or wants a deeper connection. In many cases, it's something very different. It might be her way of releasing stress. It might be a test of how strong and steady you really are. Or it might even mean she only sees you as someone safe to lean on for a while. That's why this moment is so important. When she starts sharing her problems, you cannot afford to misread it. Because if you do, you'll end up confused, frustrated, and wondering why she talks to you about everything, but never chooses you in the way you hoped. This is where most men start to feel lost. A woman reaches out to you late at night or in the middle of her day, and she begins to share the weight she is carrying, her stress from work, her family issues, her worries about life. You listen carefully, you give her your time, and in that moment, you believe it must mean something deeper. You think to yourself, why would she come to me if I was not important to her? And yet, when the conversation ends, reality often feels different. The very next day, she may act distant, distracted, or even cold. She might laugh with others, ignore your presence, or seem like nothing ever happened. And this leaves you confused, asking questions you can't answer. Does she truly trust me? Or am I just the one she vents to when life gets heavy? Does she actually care about me? Or am I simply filling an empty space in her world? This inner conflict is what keeps so many men stuck. Because the signals are mixed, the emotions are intense, and the line between being trusted and being used feels almost impossible to see. When a woman begins to share her problems with you, the first thing you need to understand is that it does not always mean intimacy or attraction. Women naturally express their emotions more openly than men, and sometimes speaking out loud is simply their way of processing what they feel inside. It may not be about you at all, you just happen to be the person she trusts to listen without judgment. And while that can feel good, you must be careful not to confuse it with desire. Many men fall into this trap because they believe that access to her emotions means access to her heart. But in truth, being her emotional outlet is not the same as being the man she chooses. It only means she feels safe around you. And safety, while valuable, is not the same as attraction. Another important layer to this is that sometimes she is not sharing because she needs advice, but because she is watching you. She wants to see how you respond when faced with her storms. If you panic, rush to fix everything, or get overwhelmed, she will quietly register that you cannot handle pressure. But if you remain calm, steady, and composed, you stand out as a man with strength. Women are deeply sensitive to emotional stability. They want to know if the man in front of them can remain unshaken when life becomes heavy. This is why your response matters more than your words. If you stay grounded and listen without losing your balance, she begins to feel something very rare in this world: the quiet respect that only comes when someone senses true strength. Now, here comes the reality many men don't want to face. Sometimes, her sharing has nothing to do with testing or attraction at all. It is simply her way of putting you into the role of a supportive friend. She may see you as someone reliable, someone kind, someone safe, but not as the man she desires. This is what creates heartbreak for many men, because they spend hours listening, supporting, and carrying her burdens, only to realize she never had any intention of moving closer to them. In these moments, you must be brutally honest with yourself. if she only comes to you when life is heavy, but she never chooses you when it comes to joy, intimacy, or love, then you are not her partner in her eyes. You are her container, her comfort zone, her emotional release. And if you don't recognize this early, you will give and give until you have nothing left, only to be left wondering why she never saw you the way you saw her. Here is where the difference becomes clear. A woman who truly values you will not only share her problems with you, she will also make an effort to be part of your world. She will respect your time, she will care about your presence, and she will want to create moments with you beyond her struggles. But if she only appears in your life when she needs comfort, disappearing the moment her mood lifts, then you must understand the truth. She is not choosing you, she is using you. Human behavior always reveals the truth. In times of crisis, people run to what feels safe, but in times of peace, they stay with what they truly love. If she comes to you only for her storms but not her sunshine, then you are not the man she is drawn to. You are the shelter she leaves behind when the skies clear. So now the question is, what should you actually do when a woman begins to share her problems with you? The first and most important principle is to never assume that her opening up automatically means she is in love with you or wants a deeper relationship. Listen to her, yes, but do not build stories in your head about what it might mean. Remain calm, remain present, and understand that her emotions are her own. By keeping yourself steady, you protect your heart from unnecessary disappointment, and you avoid the trap of giving more meaning to her words than she intended. The second principle is to hold strong boundaries. If you start to notice that her conversations with you are always one-sided, where she only takes your time and your energy but never shows genuine care or interest in your life, then you must step back. Respect yourself enough to know when you are being valued and when you are being used. Boundaries are not walls. They are the clear lines that remind others how far they can go. When you calmly set those lines, you teach her that your presence is not free to exploit. It is something that must be respected. The third principle, and perhaps the most powerful one, is to keep your focus on your own path. A stoic man does not revolve his world around the moods or the attention of a woman. He leads his life with purpose, with discipline, and with strength. If she chooses to walk beside him, that is welcome. If she chooses to walk away, he remains unmoved, because his direction was never tied to her. This is the true mark of inner power, to be steady enough that love is welcomed but never begged for, and to be clear enough that rejection is accepted without breaking your spirit. When you live this way, women sense it. They see a man who listens but does not lose himself. They feel the strength of someone who can care but never be controlled. And whether she stays or she goes, you remain exactly who you were meant to be, calm, firm, and unshaken. So remember this truth. When a woman shares her problems with you, it is not always a sign of love, and it is not always a promise of a deeper bond. Sometimes it is only her way of releasing the weight she carries. Sometimes it is a quiet test of how steady you are. And sometimes it is nothing more than a sign that she feels safe in your presence, but does not see you as the man she truly desires. Do not let this confuse you, and do not let it shake your sense of worth. A stoic man understands that his value is not determined by the emotions a woman spills in his direction, but by the strength he carries within himself. If she comes to you with her storms, stay calm. If she walks away once the skies are clear, let her go. Your path does not bend for anyone, and your purpose does not fade because of her silence. The man who remains steady in himself will never be lost in the moods of another. That is the strength every woman respects, and it is the quiet power that only the right woman will choose to love.